I'll start by invocation. Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for another beautiful day and another opportunity to serve the citizens of our great county. As we approach the matters at hand, help us to have the wisdom to see the things clearly and to respond to them in a manner pleasing to you. We ask you to continue to bless our community, to watch over all of our employees, and special protection to our police officers and emergency services. In Jesus' name I pray. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a full quorum. The agenda have any changes?
Ready for your approval, Mr. Chairman.
Oh,
We need to hit the minutes.
yep. Can we have a motion to approve the previous minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Sorry about that. We'll go straight into recognition, a presentation. John Luton, we have a presentation.
On down, Ms. Glasscock. So you are looking live at the 2025 Georgia Animal Control Association Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Linda Glasscock. He was given this award in March, and it is obviously given for somebody who's sort of dedicated their career to the field of animal control. Linda began with the department in 2010 and has implemented several crucial innovative programs, including microchipping. She opened the new shelter building, has maintained a 0% euthanasia rate for time and space for 9-10 years now. What else? The success in court cases based on documentation and evidence that her staff, 100% conviction rate. So I've just been honored to work with Linda throughout the year since my time here. We wanted to make sure we recognized her in front of this board for her award and her service, and I'm going to make you say a few words.
Thank you anyway. I'm very honored and humbled to receive this award, but I also share it with my team, past and present, because I'm part of it.
And what is the significance of the eagle? Okay. So, thank you again.
Ms. Linda, I just want to say thank you from the Board of Commissioners. You've done a fantastic job, and there have been times when things have gotten fairly sketchy, and you've maintained control and run a tight ship, and the county's blessed for it, so thank you.
Thank you.
The eagle is soaring to new heights.
There you go.
Good enough.
If it didn't have a meaning, I could give it one.
Perfect.
I want to tell just a real quick story. When Linda was our code enforcement manager, and I went down one day and talked to her and said, Linda, I'd really like you to go take over animal services. At the time it was animal control, and it was kind of a mess. And she said, I don't know that I really want to do that. And so we talked about it, and she has just done an exceptional job. She took it on day one. Really, it was I would say, in pretty bad shape. We were not, the department was not to Columbia County standards, and she went over there and just completely took it on and did a great job. So thank you for reluctantly believing in me and the county and going and doing that, because we believe in you, and you've done a great job. We appreciate it.
Here.
Okay, we'll move right into the debate agenda. Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir. First item for your consideration, these are contracts with the Board of Education, the City of Harlem and Grovetown for tax commissioner collections. Georgia law allows counties with 50,000 or more to contract the services of their tax commissioner with their municipalities and their Board of Education. We had contracts in place already, These are just continuations of those. I believe it was a 10-year contract that has expired, or I believe it's just expired in 2024. So we're just asking that the contracts remain the same, that they be extended for an additional 10 years. The rate is 2% for the cities of Harlem and Grovetown and 2.25% for the Board of Education. And these are based on the approximate cost to the county, the way we come up with these percentages. Staff recommends approval.
Do the other boards need to vote on this as well?
So it will go to the municipalities and to the Board of Education, and they will have to accept this. You know, the option is if they don't want to do this, they have to
Spend up their own.
collect their own taxes.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Community Services.
Thank you. First, we have the annual agreement with the Sheriff's Office for the purchase of meals for the senior center. That is for both home-delivered meals and congregate meals. The price is to stay the same, $3 per meal. And annually, we serve over 50,000 meals at the senior center and home-delivered. Staff recommends approval.
That is incredible.
It really is. Did the number of meals go up from last year?
It has, and it's stayed about the same. It fluctuates a little bit, but it's stayed steady.
But you had a little bit of gap built
Into the budget, correct?
budget, yeah, so add or
Right.
Second.
So moved.
Next is our contract renewal number 7 with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. As you know, the county contracts with the CVB to promote Columbia County as a tourism destination, and staff recommends approval.
No changes.
No changes.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved.
Next is renewal number 4 of the Columbia County Cares lease. This is for the building in Appling. I believe it's a $2 annual lease for them to use that space. Renewal number 4, no changes. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved.
Next is the UGA contract for the extension service personnel. This year's budgeted amount is $240,988. That covers reimbursement for administrative staff in the office for FY '26. And that number is reflected in next year's budget as well. Staff recommends approval.
Know what the increase was or is
Uh,
year over year?
Not off top.
It wasn't quite, on the salary side, a little over 10,000.
Trip.
Morning, Trip.
Knew you were here. I was looking for you somewhere out there.
We should be right at 5%. It was to mirror the increase that was done throughout the county, but we split that due to ERS, so therefore we did not incur the increase in ERS in addition to that 5%. I don't know if it's broken down on that piece of paper that was put forth in the meeting, in our budget meeting.
Budget documents.
That's correct. Yes, sir?
This is included in the upcoming budget. Right. We have included what the request was in the budget.
Move to consent.
Second.
Thank you, Trip.
Moved.
Next item is in agreement with Bliss Products and Services. This is for replacement of park shade structures at fields 1, 2, and 3 at Patriots Park. They were destroyed during Helene, so this is insurance claim item. Staff recommends approval of this contract in the amount of $141,566, utilizing the PCA contract.
Expensive shade.
They're large and hefty,
Yeah, I'm
for
aware.
sure.
That entire amount will be covered by insurance?
I
We're gonna
Has
submit
to
it.
be determined.
Covered peril.
Says the insurance man. Thank you.
Yeah,
And board member.
Yes. Move to consent.
second.
So moved.
Good morning.
Morning.
Have the agreement with Gold Cross for ambulance, emergency, and non-emergency medical services. This is a new contract to supersede the existing. Some of the changes are the subsidy amount is from from $850,000 to $1,543,750 annually, and it'll be paid in monthly installments. Be effective June 1. Savings in the existing EMS budget from current fiscal year due to some subsidy reductions. So that'll cover the first month, and then it is budgeted for 26. We are adding an additional 24-hour ALS ambulance, so we'll have a total of 8 in the county. And we're also adding a BLS ambulance 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday. We are reducing from 3 QRVs to 1. Also, we're making an adjustment to the billing limits for insured patients. Again, this is a one-year contract. I think is direction that we need, and staff recommends approval.
What are the KPIs? They have to, what are the key performance indicators they have to adhere to?
Mainly, it is maintaining that system. So they have to have that number of ambulances available 24/7. And there are a few things that we ask for, like turnout times, meaning when they notified they have a call, there's X amount of minutes in order to
Time limits.
time limits, which I check about every quarter, and so far they meet all of that. We did remove response times because it's not, you're going to require X amount of ambulances and not give them the option for more or not let them do less, then it's kind of complicated to also measure time. However, I do monitor that, and greater than 90%, they do meet traditional contractual times that we had for urban and rural, as well as they have to report when their response times are over 30 minutes. That's done through our EMS dashboard that we monitor as well. We haven't had an emergency call that met that criteria.
They're able to stay staffed up and with adequate staffing and the
Have to.
most part.
Sir?
The KPI that is important here, 8 full-time ALSs and 1 part-time BL. Having those on shift at any given. So that segues into your question of whether or not they can do that. Have that manning, maintain that staffing. But that's better answered by Gold Cross if they can do that or not.
We have been told they can. So that's why we're recommending approval of the contract.
Good morning.
We've talked about this at great length over the last several months, and staffing is a challenge for EMS nationwide, true, but we feel confident that we can do this, otherwise we wouldn't agree to it. Comfortable that we can make that.
I was just asking how it was measured, really, KPIs, so. That was my only question, really.
No, I understand. But Commissioner Couch had asked whether or not they could that staffing requirement. And because that is the KPI. The KPI to this contract is without any fill. Got to be present. That's what we'll be measuring.
Second.
Moved. Let's see, Any legal matters? Staff reports.
The response summary and the year-to-date budget, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Next. Questions? Public participation? Without any of that, we'll close the meeting.
To order the Public Works and Engineering Services Committee meeting for Tuesday, April 22nd. Having already given the prayer and the pledge, we have a full quorum this morning with 3 members present. Gentlemen, have you had the opportunity to review the minutes from the previous?
Yes, move to accept.
So moved. Do you have any changes to today's agenda?
It's ready for your approval, Madam Chair.
Thank you. We'll move forward with it as is. We do have a presentation item, and Mr. Gordon is going to give that for us this morning.
This morning, we are recognizing these guys for winning the Plant of the Year for the state of Georgia. I'm going to read something. Up here in Young Turner. I'm gonna read something off their website, because I know I'd memorize this, but Georgia Association of Water Professionals annually recognizes outstanding wastewater treatment facilities with its Wastewater Plant of the Year award. The award recognizes facilities that have demonstrated exceptional efforts in managing, operating, and maintaining their facilities. The award is given in various categories based on the facility size and treatment type. Our plant is a 6 to 9.5 or 9.9 million gallon plant, so we won the award for that category for, I guess, 2024 or 2025, 2024. And we want to recognize these guys. When we went to them and asked them that we wanted to put in for this award, I figured it'd be a little bit of a learning experience the first time to see what the state was looking for in their evaluation. But they took the bull by the horns, and they intended to win it their first shot. And I guess it should be no surprise to me, because if you've ever been to Little River Wastewater Treatment Plant, I've been going to water and wastewater treatment plants well over 20 years. And this is by far the best looking, the cleanest plant of anyone I've ever been to. These guys take a lot of pride in their work. They've done a great job, and we really appreciate them, and just wanted to take a minute to say thank you guys, good job, and keep up the good work. The little plaque we get to hang up for winning the award for this year. So we can't win it again next year, but maybe in a couple of years, because you only win it every other year. 2026, that's the goal. Thank you. What's that? No eagle. We didn't get an eagle. I don't.
We're not sorry.
but thank you. I guess we're gonna let them go back to work, because I need them operating a plant through the rest of this. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Congratulations, and thank you for keeping our citizens with water during the storm. We appreciate that. Okay, we'll move ahead to the debate agenda, and we will begin with Mr. Slaughter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have 3 encroachment agreements. First one is for 3125 Carolyn Way, I'm not sure how you say it. This is for a retaining wall, 5.5 foot high poured concrete retaining wall in the rear portions of this property. It is inside of our 10-foot drainage utility easement. Staff has recommended approval. They have signed the documents.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Next one I have for you is an easement encroachment for 790 Nuttall Street. This is looking for permission to install a concrete pad in the rear and side property line, a pool deck, also showing as being 5 foot off the rear property line. They are located inside the rear 10-foot drainage utility easement. Staff has recommended approval. All documents have been signed.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
And for you is for 4213 Columbia Road. This is for a drainage line, a private drainage line to be put into a sewer easement, and staff has recommended approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved.
Next I have for you is an alcohol beverage license for Winston's Restaurant Group LLC, which is doing business as Winston's Tavern. This is across the street here in the Premier. We have all required documents. Notice has been posted on the property. We have no known opposition to the license, and it does not require a survey based on its location. Staff is recommending approval of the license.
Move to consent.
So moved. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Gordon.
Yes, the first item I have for you today is a purchase or a replacement of an existing truck. We have a truck that's over 20 years old, has over 100,000 miles on it. This vehicle is kind of our workhorse of waterline repair and emergency repair. It houses a lot of our inventory and equipment we need to go out and do these repairs. So if, a line breaks in the middle of the night, the guys can swing in, get this truck. It can pull equipment that we need. It can pull trailers with pipe on it. We did attempt to get 3 quotes on this. We did get it under state contract for $153,217. That is within budget. We had budgeted $225,000 for the vehicle to replace it, and it will be paid for out of the distribution department funds, and staff recommends approval of this purchase.
What are we doing with the old one?
Surplus in the old one.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved.
The Next one is an independent contractor agreement with Environmental Instrumentation and Calibration. We received 3 quotes on repairing the bar screens. Oh, I skipped one. I'm sorry. Yeah, it stuck to the page. I'm sorry. It stuck to the page right in front of it. So, yeah, the second one is a rejection of a bid for the Crawford Creek generator. We budgeted $250,000 for this. It came in at the bid was $466,000. I truly believe this is a $250,000 contract. We can get it done for that. We're gonna go back and relook at that and figure out how we can get it within budget. So staff is recommending rejection of this bid.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Now this one. This one is an independent contractor agreement with Environmental Instrumentation and Calibration. We have bar screens at the head end of our wastewater plant that filter out basically any large items that can damage equipment and cause us issues in treating the plant. And these bar screens need repair from time to time, and it's time to do that maintenance on these. We did get 3 quotes to repair the bar screen at both Little River and Reed Creek. It's less than $100,000, so we just got for the utility contractor. So we got it under 3 quotes through procurement, and the low quote was $72,930, and staff recommends approval.
That's worked into the budget every year.
Yes.
How big are the screens?
John, do you know?
Yeah. Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
The next item is a change order for the Sugar Creek Booster Station. When this project was designed, we were under the impression that the septic drain field was in an open area by the clean out. And when we got under construction and we cleared the site beside the fire station on Sugar Creek Drive, the drain field was actually in the woods. So it had huge trees growing on it. So I'm not really sure how it was working very well, but it's kind of made a mess of the site. So we got with the health department, we're gonna have to relocate that drain field, but we also found out that the original drain field and septic system was designed for 4 people in the fire department, and they currently have 11. So we have to bring it up to size, so we're relocating the septic system. We have to clear another site for the drain field and put in a drain field that handles this. Plus, the site is now, with all the stuff from the drain field, we have to remove 5 foot of soils all the way across the whole site and dispose of that soil, so that's expensive. So it has turned into a large change order that is $542,031.25, and staff recommends approval of this change order.
All for a septic tank.
Yes, basically. Yes, sir.
Biggest cost is getting the soils right
I-
to support the booster station.
Yes.
I understand.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Morning, Mr. Titus.
Good morning. The first item we have is a public hearing on the establishment of streetlight districts for Whispering Pines, Section 4B and 5B, and Jackson Heights Phase 2. We received a petition from the developer of these subdivisions for streetlight districts. We reached out to Georgia Power and requested proposals for upfront installation cost and annual utility cost. Those numbers are provided for you below. This is a public hearing. With your permission, we'd like to open up the public hearing, and staff will document any comments.
Thank you. We will now open the public hearing for anyone who would like to speak on this. Being none, we'll close the public hearing.
The next item is resolutions 25-03, 25-04, and 25-08 to establish streetlight districts for Whispering Pines Sections 4B and 5B, Jackson Heights Phase 2. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved.
This next item is the lighting services.
Gotta go to debate.
Move to debate.
Second.
Correct my motion.
So moved. Thank you.
This next item is a lighting services agreement with Georgia Power for corridor lighting on Horizon South Parkway. This is the proposal from Georgia Power for upfront installation cost and annual utility cost. The upfront installation cost of $49,800 would be reimbursed by TIA, and the $15,887.64 for energy costs would be paid annually out of TABT. Staff recommends approval
Move to consent.
for pedestrian and roadway lighting.
So moved. Next.
The next item is a contract with Peak Pavement Marking for the fiscal year 24 and 25 Safety Striping Project B in the amount of $72,438.64 for the portions for striping, restriping the portions of roadways as shown on the item. We've reached out to 6 vendors, received 2 quotes. This will be funded out of IPTF. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
This next item is contract with Utilicom for the purchase of the video wall, equipment, and workstations for the new Building A Traffic Control Center. This would be for an entirely new wall, display wall, the equipment, processors, hardware, along with the 3 workstations to go in the new Traffic Control Center in the new Building A. Total price is $702,241.18 to be paid out of the 2024 PFA bonds. Staff recommends approval.
We see many additions like this for Building A, or is are most of the electronics and things like that worked into the?
Arthur will tell you about his budget.
Yeah.
I budget this in my total project budget, so these things that you're seeing that may see, I've already got those covered and
Perfect.
basically encumbered, so.
Are these been improved like to the state of the art, not just
Oh, yes.
basically what we've?
Yes, so Randy and Kyle have looked through this, and there's different TVs, there's different processors, and so we've been through this process for, 10 months, researching and meeting with vendors, so Kyle's team's done a good job, and state of the art and very nice.
Move to consent.
So moved.
This next item is for the bid and contract with Cajun Construction for the 2025 Stormwater UV Rehabilitation Projects at the locations listed. These areas have sections of pipe that are corrugated metal pipe that have reached their end of life. They're corroded. They're creating sinkholes. So this is for the lining of those pipes for a total of 1,368 linear feet of storm drain pipe ranging from 18 inches to 48 inches. This is a much more economical and efficient method of rehabilitating pipe when you compare it to dig and replace, the traditional method. Total contract amount is $283,884 to be funded out of SPLOST 2328. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Next item is a contract with Southern Civil Solutions for the 1 Marshall Place Storm Drain UV Lining Rehabilitation Project. Similar to the contract you just approved, this is for the design of the UV lining of several storm drain systems in 1 Marshall Place. The total amount is $18,250. There's not a tremendous amount of design for UV lining project. However, we still require an erosion control plan, location maps, et cetera. So we still need to get that put together. Again, this is with Southern Civil Solutions. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Next.
Next item is a contract with Blue Water Engineering Services for the Mill Branch Culvert Replacement Project. Staff received several calls from property owners along Mill Branch Road, off Lewiston Road. Each time we had significant storm events, the roadway would overtop. So we engaged Blue Water Engineering to do a high-level study to determine if the hydraulics met the hydrologic model for that reach, and it was determined that the two 72-inch culverts beneath Mill Branch are significantly undersized for the 25-year storm. So we requested a proposal from Blue Water to do a formal design for replacement in order to adequately size that system under Mill Branch. The total amount for this design contract is $79,400. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Moved. Next.
This next item is a bid and contract with Triscapes LLC for construction of the Lakeside Park Green Infrastructure Improvements Project. This is to rehabilitate, this is to rehabilitate 3 existing fire retention systems over at Lakeside Park and construct a new fire retention structure next to the parking lot and a permeable trail. This is partially funded through EPA's 319 grant. The total contract amount is $476,404.70. Approximately 50% of that will be reimbursed through the 319 grant. The contractor will have 135 days to complete the project. Staff recommends approval. Sorry, the remaining portion that's not reimbursed will be paid out of stormwater infrastructure.
Consent.
Second.
So moved.
This next item is Resolution 25-14 for stormwater compliance fee schedule revisions to include course and workshop fees, as well as working without a land disturbance permit penalty. Staff currently puts on 2 courses. One is for the Georgia Soil and Water Conservation Commission level 1A and 1B certification and recertifications, and the other is a Rain Barrel workshop. The fees that we're proposing are to cover costs associated with putting on those workshops or courses. The third item or second item is for working without a land disturbance permit penalty. Basically, if you start work without a permit, then staff has much more work to do in order to catch up on the front end with what's going on. So this is proposing that we double the land disturbance permit fee if they start without a permit. I know Mr. Slaughter and Ms. Jennings worked heavily on this, so questions, bring Ms. Jennings up and we can discuss.
Does that happen? Sorry.
Only if someone begins work without a permit. We're not raising fees.
Correct.
The only fees that are being raised are actually establishing fees for classes that we're wanting to provide.
Right.
Law requires people that are working to have certain licenses. We want to offer the class to get those folks in here, get them licensed so they can go work. We looked at our staff time, our material cost. The bulk of the fee is to cover the materials. I believe they get a green book, Katie Beth, green book, plus a class manual. It gets down to the Rain Barrel workshop. It literally covers the cost of the material. So we're not doing this to make money. We're doing it to educate the public.
How often happen often that people start without the permit?
Katie Beth, tell you.
It's not uncommon, but, and this would apply to contractors and builders regularly and decided to start work anyway. A lot of them do have these certifications they offer and that the state requires, established requirements. So when they start without a permit, it takes a lot of staff extra time to catch up, especially with regard to the plan. Already changed. Trying to make paper match the earth at that point.
So you're targeting the builder community and not, can the general public come? I guess they wouldn't. I mean, if they were
anybody can
interested in
come.
it, yeah.
Anyone can attend.
Yeah.
But for the classes, we are targeting to help increase understanding and awareness.
And you'll reach out to associations?
Absolutely. We'll
Okay.
advertise.
Perfect. Their motion.
Debate.
It's debate item.
Debate item, just throw that out there before you make your motion.
If somebody starts without permission, then the fees.
Correct, and this is similar to what we do in building standards. They have that exact same caveat. You
Right.
start without your permit, you pay double the fee.
But the way we wrote it was subject to the double fee. That is because if you have somebody that does it on accident, they just don't know, then that's, we can work, staff can work with them and if it's, minor. But if we have these bad characters that continue to do it over and over, that's when.
Is that enough of a fee for a bad character?
So Mr. Driver will tell us that our fees can only cover our cost. We're not here to make money off of these fees. We're here to cover the cost of doing business. So it's not a penalty. Cover our additional work. The punishment would be having code enforcement go out and issue a citation for working without a permit and then letting the fine the fee.
Move to move to debate, excuse me.
Second.
So moved. Thank you.
This next item is Resolution 25-12 and project delivery agreement with GDOT for Tier 2 Group 6 roadway resurfacings for the roadways listed below. This is the project delivery agreement with GDOT for Columbia County to deliver these projects, as well as a resolution identifying who, on behalf of the county, can sign for the county. Staff recommends approval.
We making up any of the lost time? I know you said at some point we were like 6 months behind on resurfacing projects because of the delay with the debris and storms, so.
We have had really good weather, knock on wood. I know rain's coming later this week, but we've had really good weather for the past month or so, so they're doing well, but we're still gonna be months behind before we get back in line.
This is Group 6. How many groups are there?
I think there's one more after this.
Move to consent.
So moved.
This next item is for the bid and contract with Beams Contracting for the rehabilitation of multiple roads on Fort Eisenhower. This is a rebid. On October 5th, 2021, the county entered into an intergovernmental support agreement with then Fort Gordon, now Fort Eisenhower. Basically, the county acts as a procurement or financial agent on behalf of the base. So the base tells us what roads they need rehabilitated. We put together a package, we advertise that we contract with a contractor like Beams, and then issue them a notice to proceed to do the work. The court oversees it and reimburses us. We pay the contractor and they reimburse us for the work. It's a way to apply economies of scale so they can get their roadways resurfaced at a better price. The total contract amount is $3,241,864.42. Again, we will be reimbursed for everything that the Ford approves the contractor to do, plus an additional 8% administrative fee for the county's time working on this. Staff recommends approval. The funding will come out of TABT first.
Something that we typically do.
This will be our second. The first project we did was an emergency project on Rains Road where the roadway blew out, 2022. And that's the only project we've done. We tried to advertise this project last year, mid-last year, and the timelines and the funding did not work out with the fort. We've re-advertised and we've been successful getting this one negotiated with the contractor and ready for your approval.
I want to make sure that I understand your question. The agreement that we have with Fort Eisenhower, basically road work. I mean, we manage the project.
And they're, when they reimburse on the receivable, that timeline is, is there a significant delay ever?
Jacob here? Jacob, would you walk up? So Jacob works in our pre-construction department and he's been spearheading this for us. Jacob Steiner.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Morning.
Morning.
So the Fort Eisenhower basically receives funding on a quarterly basis throughout the federal year through what is called the one-to-end list. So the Department of Public Works, which controls construction across the entire base, they have to prioritize their money. So our best approach working with DPW and trying to understand how their funding works with how fluid federal funds are, though we're moving to authorize the full amount of the project, but right now they only know that they can confidently deliver the first portion of the bid. We went ahead and we bid the project, got the full amount for each of the roadways, and got that approved so that way the fort could go ahead and move and work with Congress to get the actual funding for the rest of the roadways. Basically, once we present them that we're ready to move forward, they'll be able to issue and fund us directly, and it's going to work where once the roadway is complete, they will then pay the lump sum fee, and we should get that back in a relatively fast manner. Did I answer your timeline in terms of timeline?
Yes.
So they have 120 days from the time that we issue the notice to proceed to go ahead and complete the very first roadway. That will give the fort time to mobilize to receive the rest of the funding, and by the end of that first 120 days, we will know exactly which roadways we're going to be able to fund for the rest of the contract, not to exceed the amount that you see in your bid item.
I understand.
Thank you.
Thanks. Already vote. Move to consent.
So moved.
This next item is a bid and contract with Southern Asphalt for Wildwood Park resurfacing, basically to resurface all the roads in Wildwood Park. This includes Holloway Road, Dogwood Lane, Boat Ramp Road, Cedar Point, and the Disc Golf Road resurfacing. It also includes fog sealing the disc golf parking lot and main boat ramp parking, and restriping everything. Total amount is for $737,459.50. Staff recommends approval. Be funded out of TABT.
Miles is this. If you don't know, then that's cool.
I can get that for you and send you an email right after committee.
They could dividing the dollars into the miles. Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
This next item is a contract with Pond and Company for the preliminary through final design services related to the Clary Cut Road, Old Union Road project. This is a Tier 2 project. Pond has already been through the concept and traffic analysis phase. Staff requested that they provide a proposal for preliminary through final design services to deliver this project. The total proposal amount is $689,722, again to be funded out of Tier 2. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Last one.
And the final item is acceptance of improvements at Highland Lakes West Section 1 to include the road, storm, water, and sewer, along with the right-of-way and easements associated with those improvements as specified on the plat by Agency Surveying dated March 12th, 2025. All the ponds shown on the plat are to remain private and owned by the HOA. Staff recommends approval.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Do you have any legal matters? Staff reports, Mr. Gordon.
Yes, I've included the year-to-date budget report and the water and sewer construction project reports for your review, and I'm prepared to answer any questions you may have.
I don't have any, sir.
And Titus.
Yes, we have the roadway projects report and roadway resurfacing report for your review. Happy to answer any questions.
No questions. Thank you. Do you have one person that would like to speak from the public this morning? Reagan Creighton. And we have one executive session item. Pleasure on that.
I make a motion, we move it to the full board.
Second.
So moved. We have no other items. We will adjourn at 9:20.